Ashley, tell me about your book, Naked and Hungry.
Naked and Hungry is a darkly humorous suspense novel that's set in the Piedmont area of North Carolina. It concerns the story of a former loan officer, H.T. McMullen, who's turned his back on his former capitalist ways. He's decided to pare his life down to the bare essentials, hence the title, Naked and Hungry. Unfortunately, in building his one-room cabin, he stumbles upon the site of it is actually a hazardous waste dump. So in investigating the pollution, he actually comes in contact with his antithesis. He's the reluctant hero, the laid-back Don Quixote figure. He comes in contact with Jessica Biel, the driven, the ambitious environmental activist. And they clash at first, but later their budding passion ignites when she reveals a dangerous secret that links them both to a much larger statewide corruption scandal. So in uncovering the pollution, they come in contact with yet another ambitious female, an FBI agent, and the three of them together hatch a risky plot to bring the bad guys to justice and to restore HT's good name.
Ashley, you described this book as darkly humorous. Is it a comedy as well?
Actually it is. You know, the writers that appealed to me most throughout my writing career have been the comic ones, such as Joyce Carey, Graham Greene. Our Man in Havana was a favorite. Certainly I love Richard Russo, James Wilcox. To me, comedy is really truth plus pain. The same things that make us laugh, are also those things that tug at our heartstrings. And so I think comedy is more than just making people laugh. It's appealing to a universal emotion that we all share.
Ashley, H.T. is quite a character. Who is your inspiration for him?
H.T., or Henry Thaddeus, H.T. for short, is inspired by a lot of people. Primarily my dad, I would say, whose unique philosophies have certainly inspired my life to date. He's a very laid-back character. He takes life as it comes. Another thing about H.T. that I hope is appealing is his vulnerabilities. He is the first person to describe himself as a loser. I mean, what other person would decide to sell Starbucks short? He loses big time in that. It cost he and his best friend $60,000. His dog is adopted against his will. His cabin is blown up. One of, I hope the magic of this book is how H.T. pulls it together in the end. He's a character that I hope that appeals to everybody. It's easy to pull for the underdog because we've all been there.
You've built an entire community of colorful characters. Who are some of your other favorites?
Oh, there's many. In Yatesville, which is my fictional town, it is a community of passionate, caring, and a little crazy characters, I would say. Two of my favorites besides H.T. first certainly is H.T.'s mother, Myrtle. I mean, Myrtle is a little bit of everybody's grandmother. She used to run a daycare, now she's trying to run H.T.'s life. She makes it quite evident that he is not her favorite child, which leads to a lot of conflict. She's a Bible-toting grandma, and she's accompanied everywhere by her pygmy goat. So in at least 4 scenes in the book, the goat, Bermadine, her goat, appears in it. She and H.T., kind of settle their differences a little bit towards the end, but there'll always be that famous mother-son conflict. My other favorite character is Jessica Biel, really his love interest. I admire Jessica a lot. She's turned her back on a successful legal career and has decided to stand up in favor of the environment. So she's really interesting. She's motivated by things other than H.T. because she's still ambitious and she wants to make a difference in the world. The two of them together, with his lack of ambition and her ambition, lead to some interesting conflict as well.
Environmentalism is an underlying theme in your book. Tell me about that.
Well, it is a very important theme in the book. First and foremost, I should say, I myself am not a scientist, but like everybody alive today, you can't help but be concerned about fossil fuel consumption, global climate change, and the effects on, our day-to-day life. I would say that my views certainly echo, in a smaller respect, Jessica, the environmental activist in the book. She knows that she can't make a dent in the greater social consciousness about things that the scientists themselves are still arguing about, but she's committed to making a difference in her community by protecting, for example, the red cockaded woodpeckers, the gray whales. She is also concerned about preserving water quality. On a smaller scale, she's making a difference in her own way, and I think that's an important thing that people can take away from this. You can't solve the greater dialogue, but what you can do is recycle, you know?
Ashley, in closing, can you sum up your thoughts on the book?
Well, I think if you're seeking a fun, easy read that also strikes at the heart of some serious issues and enjoy a little bit of social satire, I think you'll enjoy Naked and Hungry. Having grown up in the South myself, you know, I do poke a little fun at it, but I also point out all that's endearing about the South. So if you like humorous fiction, I think you'll really enjoy Naked and Hungry.